My name is Camilla McPhee and I'm the editor of GQ.com, and I'm here to bring you GQ's first ever tailor-made travel film, the first in a series showcasing the best destinations around the world, where to visit and what to do when you get there. And this being GQ, you can be guaranteed we'll recommend a holiday that will be fun, glamorous and a little bit out of the ordinary too. This month we're in Chile, a country where you can find every climate imaginable, and what this means is that there is something for everyone, from skiing in the Andes or swimming in the Pacific, to hiking in Patagonia or trekking across the Atacama Desert. As a result, when you're packing for this holiday, remember the climate. Warm and waterproof clothing is just as essential as swimming trunks and sunblock. The best time to come to this part of South America is from January to February, when temperatures are in the late 20s and the sun seems to shine all day long. On this trip, we'll be heading to the country's capital, Santiago, and then heading north to the little town of San Pedro de Atacama and its surrounding desert. First up, let's take a look at the capital.
Here I am in a very sunny Santiago, which is the capital of Chile and home to 6 million people. Now, the amazing geography of this country means that you can spend the morning skiing up in the Chilean Andes, and by the afternoon you can be sitting by the Pacific having a beer. If you're in Santiago for a couple of days, then base yourself at the Hotel Ritz-Carlton on the Avenue Apoquindo, which forms part of the road which runs from one side of the country to the other. So all that simply means is if you want to go skiing, you go that way, and if you want the sea, you go that way.
Over a third of all Chileans live in Santiago, which means that at rush hour it has the feel of any other big and bustling South American city. But it would be a real shame to give only a quick nod to this capital as you pass through to another tourist destination. In terms of culture, the city which once suffered in silence under Pinochet's political regime is now finding its voice, with an underground music scene to rival that of Berlin, and not to mention artist enclaves such as Listaria, which would surely give Paris's left bank a run for its bohemian money.
This is one of the main drags in downtown Santiago, which leads onto the Plaza de Armas behind me, and here you'll get a real feel for what Santiago is like. It's very calm, everybody's very polite, and on these streets you can pretty much buy anything you want, from parasols to shoes to sunglasses, which apparently you can buy by the kilo should you want to. Also, what's pretty charming about it is all this is soundtracked by wonderful panpipe music. Just a short walk from downtown Santiago is the Mercado Central, which is the biggest fish market in the city. And it's here that the people of Santiago come to buy all their fresh fish and sample authentic Chilean food. So I'm going to take a look. So here we are inside the Central Fish Market in Santiago, and I have to say the sights and the smells are not for the faint-hearted. And if you're wearing flip-flops, I recommend you go home and change because the floor is absolutely covered in fish blood. So after the hustle and bustle of the Mercado Central, we're about a 10-minute drive away from the Santiago city centre in the foothills of the San Cristobal, and I'm here with Christina, and she's going to talk us through some traditional Chilean dishes.
Well, we have a selection here of some very, very classic dishes from Chile, beginning with a pastel de choclo, which is a lot like a shepherd's pie, but with a corn crust and beef and chicken.
Very nice.
Next up we have what's called arrollado, and this is pork leg that has been chopped up and rolled up in the skin of the actual pig, which a lot of people here in Chile like, but sometimes travelers have a hard time stomaching. We also have here, I'll move here, we have what's called pastel de jaiba, and this is a crab casserole. It's made with crab and breadcrumbs, egg, cream.
That was yum. So Christina, after you've sampled the delights of the Chilean cuisine, where do you recommend that everybody goes in Santiago afterwards for maybe a coffee or a stroll?
I would recommend La Starbia neighborhood, which is also called Bellas Artes. It's my favorite neighborhood here in Santiago, and it's kind of up and coming. A lot of the facades in this neighborhood have been preserved, and there are a lot of cafes. It's a great place just to kind of relax with a cup of coffee.
Great. Now, if you've become a little hot and bothered by traipsing around the centre of Santiago, the best place to come is Listaria, which is where I am now. Very bohemian, quiet neighbourhood, and basically the perfect place to come and sit, be quiet and have a cup of coffee. If
you want to get around in Santiago, your best bet is a local taxi. Incredibly friendly drivers, slightly hair-raising driving.
Reportaje? Documental?
For internet, website.
And the grasp of the local language would also be a great help too.
I can't speak Spanish, I'm not getting very far. I can say two, which is dos. That's about it.
¿Trabajas para algún canal de televisión?
Televisión, sí.
¿Qué canal? ¿Y ahora estás haciendo un reportaje o un documental?
Report. So reportaje.
Un reportaje. Ah, ok. Eso que se ve allá es la Facultad de Derecho.
Okay. It's been very fun today. It's been incredibly hot and very busy, and we've been running around, and I think we've seen pretty much the areas we need to see in Santiago. But Bella Vista apparently really kicks off, and none of the bars shut until the candles burn down, essentially. Thank you. Thanks very much. Right, let's go have some fun.
This is the Bella Vista Barrios of Santiago, where from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. people come to drink, dine and dance. Now, if you want to drink, there are a whole lot of bars where you can go and sit and have a beer. And if you want to dance, there are many, many clubs playing all sorts of music. There's rock, jazz, and if you're feeling a little bit craft work, there's electronica to be found here too. And if you want to dine, there's no better area to come because there seems to be a new restaurant opening every week. And one of the newest is the highly recommended Cienfuegos on Constitution Street.
Now that was a mighty fine restaurant. Delicious food, incredibly stylish, and very, very foxy waitresses. Obviously not my words, the words of my camera crew who went terribly silent every time they came near. Now, I'm going to finish up here. I'm going to sample the rest of Bella Vista, and that is not something that I need you to see. Good night.